Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus on this now cloudy Thursday morning here at 9 News. Although, as I say that, I see some peaks of sunshine outside our windows here at Spear and Logan. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. So for the forecast this afternoon, it does look like we have some showers and storms that'll move their way on in around mid-afternoon or so. And then we'll see a pretty rainy night tonight. And then tomorrow morning, cloudy, cool, and then we dry things up for tomorrow afternoon. And then the weekend and early next week, chef's kiss. It's going to be gorgeous, but once we get past this rainy stretch over the next 24 hours. But let's take a look outside where we are seeing some of those clouds move their way on through. We had a cold front move through about 2 hours ago, an hour and a half, 2 hours ago across the Denver area. And that's ushered in much cooler temperatures for us and a lot cloudier conditions as well. And this is a look from Fort Collins where you're starting to see some of that cloud cover move its way on through the region as well. That is due to upslope flow. That is a northeasterly moist wind that, as it moves against the mountains, it condenses into some of those clouds and those showers that you're looking at. Meantime, take a good look at this. This might be the last time you see this much green here at the Alpine Visitor Center until maybe next summer, because we're going to get some snow up here tonight, and that snow will likely hang around until the next part of summer. As again, we're going to probably get a couple inches here at about 11,000 feet. Snow levels may be as low as 10,000 feet, and that will lead to, again, some of that snow sticking around some of those highest elevations probably for some time. So, worth noting that. Showers and storms after 2 p.m. for us here in the Denver area. No snow for us, but we are talking about some of those shower storms again after about 2 p.m. Then tomorrow morning, we're looking at some showers sticking around. And then in the afternoon, I think we get some peaks of sunshine into the picture. And the weekend, I mean, it is gorgeous. Award-winning weather for the weekend, and that'll last into most of next week as well. Fun fact, by the way, and I've mentioned this before, I think a lot of people don't know this, especially with the anniversary of the September 2013 flood. Fun fact, September is actually our sunniest month of the year here in eastern Colorado. It's pretty common for us to get a lot of sunshine this time of year. We're in between the monsoon season, our mid-latitude low season, so we're kind of in between our rainy seasons, and therefore it tends to be a pretty dry month overall. All right, with that said, you don't care about that because it's not dry right now. Here's a look at HD8 operator, which is getting a bit busy for us into the western part of the state, but also here into northern Colorado. And in fact, if you've got really good eyes, you might be able to pick out north of Steamboat Springs. This is what I believe to be the first instance of thunder snow that I've seen so far this season. You might look there at Steamboat Springs, look up to the north, that little squiggly line north of Steamboat, and up by Round Mountain, that'd be about 13,000 feet up. Looks like we got some thunder snow, maybe thunder grapple up there, about an hour and a quarter or so ago up that way. So that would be up well into the Park Mountains where we did see some of that snowfall. Producing some of that thunder snow out there. Seeing some lightning strikes out on the western slope as well. It'll be out by Hotchkiss, Paonia. We're seeing some of those showers and storms right now. And then also the highest elevations along the Continental Divide, seeing some rain, maybe some grapple and some snow way up there on this Thursday morning. Now, all that will continue to fill on in. We're expecting more of that rain, more of that high elevation snow to gradually increase. And look at that; those reds. It's going to be pouring rain at some point tonight here across the metro area, probably after about 5 o'clock, and that rain will linger most of the overnight hours. By tomorrow morning, some leftover drips of rain, and that should pretty much do it for the Denver area. So closer look in here at the metro, what we can expect. A couple things to keep in mind. One, I think we stay dry for the next 2 or 3 hours. So we got a couple hours. You want to get the dog walk in, you want to go for the jog, you don't want to get wet. You're okay for probably at least the next, I'd say safely the next 2 hours, or probably the next 3, maybe even 4 hours. Somewhere around 2, 3 o'clock, we'll see those shower storms fill on in. And as they do so, we'll see a lot of heavy rain and some potentially heavy downpours. Highest risk of those will be south of I-70 into the Palmer Divide, the southern Jeffco foothills. This we're looking at that highest potential for seeing some maybe even 1 inch, maybe even 2 inch plus rainfall totals. And that's where we got better upslope flow. So that's why I think, again, the southern part of the metro area will be more favored for getting some of that heavy rain and the potential for some of those pretty high-end rainfall totals. Temperatures right now, 60s, 70s, eastern plains, 50s into the high country. And for today, we're expecting a high in the low 70s for us here in the Denver area. And again, those clouds might have some peaks of sunshine right now. That cloud cover will win out in the next hour or so. It's going to be mostly cloudy throughout the rest of the day today and really over the next 24 hours. Highs today, a lot of 70s on the eastern plains, 50s, 60s into the high country, pretty cool up there. Tonight, upper 40s, rain most of the night. It's going to be great sleeping weather. I love these kinds of evenings. Temperatures, again, mostly on the cool side, but I don't think too many of us are complaining about that either. A bit of a fall-like feel. Definitely a nice night to kind of cozy up on the couch for tonight and into the high country. Look at that, Leadville. First time this season, I think we may be dropping below freezing in some of those areas. And we'll be looking at those 40s on the eastern plains, 20s and 30s into the high country. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Little spelling error there, sorry about that. But we're looking at mostly cloudy skies for tomorrow. I think in the afternoon we will see some peaks of sunshine. Highs in the mid 60s for tomorrow. So it's a pretty cool day. Highs again in the mid 60s, 50s, 60s into the high country. And those showers and storms probably lose out tomorrow. We'll see more clouds than anything else tomorrow. But then by the afternoon, we will get some peaks of sunshine into the picture. And that sunshine will eventually win out. I think by tomorrow evening, we're going to be A-OK. If you're heading to the Rockies game tonight, that looks like trouble. Tomorrow night, looks great. And by the way, the Buffs game coming up, I'll have more on that in just a second. Looks great on Saturday night, and same for the Broncos game on Sunday. So if you've got those outdoor plans, again, it's really just tonight that's bad. Tomorrow night, it starts to get a little bit better, and then much better by Saturday and Sunday. Rainfall amounts, pretty impressive stuff for a wide part of the state. Pretty good drink of water for most of us from the next system. Now, one thing I do want to hone on in, I think around most of the Denver area, about a quarter to half inch seems about right. You get south of I-70, and this map shows the best, I think, setup here. And that's where we're looking at that potential for 1 to 2 inches worth of rainfall in some localized areas. Again, south of I-70, that's where you could be looking at some of those, maybe even some flood issues, some localized flood issues. And this is not a huge flood concern, but again, we are going to be looking at, in some cases, maybe a quick inch or two of rainfall. And then that snowfall forecast in the high country above, again, way up there, 10,000 feet. That's where you're looking at the potential for 1 to 3 inches worth of snowfall. But hey, it's the first time this season we're seeing maybe a couple inches of snow in those highest elevations aside for Pikes Peak. 7-day forecast. I have some of those days off a little bit, but we are looking at those 60s and 70s for the next 2 days before it really warms on up for the early to mid part of next week. Sunshine abound. Perfect football weather for the CSU-CU game coming up at Folsom Field on Saturday night. It's going to be crisp. Bring a hoodie. Otherwise, looks fantastic. No rain or weather concerns, but we do have those, of course, for the next 24 hours or so. Really, again, next 24 hours. By about midday tomorrow, things look a lot better. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll see some peaks of sunshine. We'll see that sun come back out, and we'll see a cool day tomorrow, but nothing too crazy unusual about that. And for tonight, again, half-inch rain for many areas, and maybe a little bit less as you get north of town, a little bit more as you get into the south side of town. So just worth keeping in mind. Eastern Plains could be dealing with some showers and some thunderstorms as well. Some thunderstorms possible a bit more east, maybe a rumble thunder or two for this evening here in the metro area as well. I'll have another update for you coming up at 9 News at noon and at 2 p.m. here on 9 News Plus. Then we've got Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin in at 4 and 5, Meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, 10 tonight on the 9 News Family of Networks. Once again, I'm 9 News Meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Thursday.